I lost half the footage. I'm using a black background right now because someone said in the comments that it would help their eyes. So, please share your opinions on this choice. I just saw a bunch of people saying that the white hurts their eyes, and I don't know how to feel about that. So here, hopefully this works.
Wow.
I'm sure all artists are familiar with the disastrous phenomenon known as AI. You know, that one website where you go, make me an essay about photosynthesis and how it works and make it sound human and not AI. And then copy
Wow.
and paste it to another AI to paraphrase and check if it's human or not. To be real and candid, I also have my own morals when it comes to AI and well, in writing, of course. And no, I am not perfect. A few years ago, I did exactly what I mentioned above, but I stopped doing that because, I can't lie. It felt sort of degrading to my own skill set. That's why I took a step back from my table to really reflect on my morals in using AI, and that reflection led me to this. I only allow AI when it's used ethically. What do you mean by ethically? I believe using it ethically, how many more times am I going to say ethically in one sentence? I mean it when using it specifically for spell checking, grammar checking, and, basic improvements to your already human-made text. But anyway, why am I saying this? Because it's completely different from the creative side of things. Let's discuss how AI steals from writers to photographers, and lastly, the most unfortunate of all, artists. But first, a word from our sponsor, Delete Half Your Footage by Accident Company. Some commenters posted on my silly little YouTube videos about how they didn't like how my speed paints are so fast and flashy, like, switching zooms quite literally every single time. So I decided to use the inbuilt time-lapse feature in Procreate, and well, while doing the artwork for this video, I exported the time-lapse and it was gone. Literally only half of the speed paint was recorded, and it wasn't even on 2K mode, so the quality was like shiitake mushrooms if you ever had it. So use the code delete footage to save 0% off your next purchase, everybody. But with that out of the way, I just want to state that I'm probably stalling a lot because I deleted half the footage. Okay, actually, yeah, that is what's happening, but I think it's great to spread awareness on this topic while also using the salvaged time-lapse for the drawing portion. So, food for thought. Let's get right into it. In a link I will put in the description, there's an article from TechCrunch. I'll quote one part from the article. If you ask GPT to do a passage in the style of Carmen Machado, Margaret Atwood, or Alexander Chi, I don't know if I said those correctly, it will do a fair job at it. And for good reason. It likely ingested all their works in the training process and now uses the ingenuity for its own. But these authors and thousands more are not happy with this fact. This is a testament to how AI steals. From its system, it's clear that it gets data from the internet, data us humans put out there, and as unfortunate as it is for artists and photographers, AI steals from writers too. We need to shed more light on this issue because, the epidemic affects all creative outputs, and we all have to come together to fight whatever this is. Moving on, artists and photographers suffer from this issue tremendously. I believe I saw something on YouTube and TikTok about all the artists AI has stolen from. I can't specifically find it, but if I come across it while editing, I'll add it in the description. But there really is something taking creative works from all artists out there, small or big. Heck, maybe even me. I noticed that the issue on art and photography in terms of AI is rampant compared to the ones writers have to go through. But that's what's hurting our community. No matter the popularity, we all know it's stealing our artworks and photos and creating pieces from the data they gather. Companies out there are profiting from it. It no longer became a tool, but a dehumanization of the word art. If you're a person watching this video who loves AI art, uses it for profit, or encourages others to do the same, just know that what you're looking at is nothing, no value, no meaning, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And no, I don't have any remorse for you, because even a child's stickman drawing has more meaning than this disgusting slop. It's not art. Let's fight against AI. Let's fight for artists. So I haven't placed an intro, so like I'm doing it right now. Hello guys and welcome to the second half of the video, which is to try and outdo AI art. This idea was brought forward from the poll I created like weeks ago, and well, dun dun dun, this is literally the final boss. Wish me luck. Because to be honest and real, I lost half the time lapse. I already said this in the start of the video, but I'll just reiterate. Well, someone commented on my video, saying that the speed fades are pretty hashtag epileptic seizure core, which honestly valid. I am kind of a victim of the zoom rendering, but anyway, I finished the damn thing, and Procreate has this feature to download time lapses, and I didn't really pay it any mind, but for some reason, when I finished the coloring part of the drawing, it just stopped all the progress in the later half, which was the most important part, so I'm clearly mad. I'll try my best to salvage what I have and make this a better experience for y'all. So let's get started with the process. Step 1. Finding references. I scrolled through Pinterest to find some art I could use for this piece, and well, I found this picture, and oh, this will be a hard video. Something I noted is that there are so many details scattered everywhere, but another thing is that they also have plenty of random lines and inconsistent rendering. So I am going to fix all that when I draw this piece. Next is to start drawing. I am following the same process as what I did in the previous video. I'll leave it in the little iCard at the top. I first started by harshly sketching the drawing using a large brush to get the shape in there. Okay, well, I don't know if this is what artists feel when they draw, but like, it's always so ugly in the beginning stages of drawing, but if this is what will get me to the goal, then sure. Next, I started the sketch line art and decided to just skip the in-between process because I didn't have time. And now we have, well, you know, this thing, which is already half of the time lapse before it ends. And why? Because I lost half the footage. Did I tell you I lost half of the footage? Well, I lost half of the footage. After whatever that was, I started coloring the piece. I explained my reason for coloring it gray in the previous video, but I don't want to reiterate right now, so I'll just leave it for the next video or whatever. But basically, I colored each part in a different shade of gray, and then added a new layer, set the clipping mask, and began adding colors. The colors are kind of weird here actually. It's more like they're like pretty random rather than sensible. For example, the way the AI rendered the hair looks very different. On one side it has highlights while the other not so much. And for some reason the eyes aren't quite the same style, which kind of makes the piece look like a collab rather than something that holds up on its own. I still did the same to keep it similar with the eyes, but I mean, the more flaws, the more I get to make them disappear. So after the coloring, I shaded the parts with a mix of blue, red, and orange. Oh, and I used a multiply layer for this part. And then I lost the footage. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll just show small parts of the image so that it still kind of builds up that sort of anticipation. So I'm really sorry guys. Things are, you know, every single video always have at least one thing wrong with them. So hopefully the next one is perfectly fine. But if it jumps from time to time, sorry. So I rendered the eyes. I made them look more consistent and stayed with the style of the piece. If you guys want a tutorial, comment down below. Next, I re-rendered the hair. It was looking pretty good. I did what I did in the previous video again, and I basically just copy-pasted it to the other guy. You know, without a speed paint, this feels so rushed. But anyway, I did the same with the clothes. I just cleaned up the edges and fixed up any important details. And lastly is the background. Well, about this part, it's kind of hard to make out what in the world this is, but I assume these three are paintings and these are like plans of the sort. So I drew each of the little things for the background, and then I was finally finished with the drawing. And last thing I did was add a few filters and... this is my take on the AI piece. Whoa. You know, it's crazy how far I've come. I think Well, it doesn't really matter what I think. These past few weeks have been amazing, piloting this account alongside all of you guys. And it's so crazy because so far, I'm just at the beginning, but I'm having so much fun. I love, giving my small little replies to all of your comments or hearting the ones that I, love to see, whether it's like feedback or like just compliments. I'm always grateful for the fact that you took your time and comment stuff down. If you're a hater, which is kind of weird to say, but like if you're a hater, then I don't know actually. I really don't know. But yeah, leave your comments down below with your opinions on the choices I've made, the piece itself, and well, okay, let's leave the lost footage behind for now. I'm close to 5,000. I don't focus on numbers, but if there's one thing I'm grateful for, it's that the fact that I'm able to share my art with everyone means so much to me. Thank you guys. Have a nice day, night, afternoon, and maybe even midnight for all of those Omegaverse, Beta, and Alpha believers out there. Baron, signing off.